All right. Are we live? It should say that we're live. Yeah, it says that we're live, and apparently my icon is receiving audio now that I've unplugged the headphones. Yeah, I forgot I need to do that. So, yeah, peak boomerism. That's going to happen once in a while. I'm going to forget something or another. As I leave you momentarily to turn on the Do Not Disturb feature on my phone, as most of these streams are done via Android phone. So there's that. And yes, the title of the stream is the TOS Violation stream because pretty much every stream on political YouTube, if you're on the right of Mao, is going to be a terms of service violation. So enjoy the terms of service violation stream. Maybe if we tag them enough with this, they'll leave us alone. Probably not. This stream might not be up in the morning. So you might notice something different in the comments section, in the description of this video. There's an Odyssey link to a video made by someone in the Discord named Violence is Life. Sometimes she shows up in the chat. But she made a quirky little just a rant on cancel culture and why we should not be limiting our weapons against the left because the left wants to harp on us when we use their weapons against them. Yes, cancel culture is bad. And yes, leftists, because it is bad, we will use it against you because you deserve it. You've earned the weapon of cancel culture, whether we find it morally repugnant or not, because that's what you deserve. And mandatory is in the house.
By the measure that ye judge.
Judge ye righteously?
Ye shall be judged.
Okay, and?
So if you try to get, I don't know, an actress canceled because instead of saying, female, she, her, you say you're a robot as a joke.
Oh, yeah.
Sooner or later, that shit's going to come back to haunt you.
Absolutely. So, okay. So when you first started, I thought you were coming out as a criticism, going, no, we shouldn't do that because it's a horrible thing to do, period. And I'm just sitting here going,
literally, no, you are judging them by the same measure that they judged others. And actually, I'm looking something up. Here we go.
Saul Alinsky.
God damn you.
Yeah, it's Saul Alinsky.
Rule number 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules.
Yep. That is classic rules for radical Saul Alinsky, the mentor of Hillary Clinton, unironically.
Say again?
The mentor of Hillary Clinton.
I did not know that. I should have known that.
Yes. Bill and Hillary Clinton were mentored by Saul Alinsky in college.
You know what rule number 9 is?
Please refresh my memory.
Okay, fair enough. And you'll have seen this in your life. The threat is usually more terrifying than the thing itself.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 100%. Hey, Spicy, how's it going, man?
It's going slowly, but it's going slowly.
This is the first time I'm ever talking to you, Spice.
Actually, it's like the second or third time, something like that.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that.
I was guardsman. Now I'm last man.
Yes. What's going on with that in one sentence or less?
All right, so there's this game called Daisy. In order to get on certain servers, especially where there's role playing, you got to get this thing called whitelisted, which means your Discord account has to get in a way connected with your PlayStation Network account. and something glitched, and I got stuck in a constant loop of having to certify that I'm not a robot, and it wouldn't let me go past it. So I ended up just deleting the old one and starting a new one.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like fun.
I'm
So
looking up Solint. How the fuck do you say that fuckwad's name?
Saul
Paul
Alinsky,
Olinsky.
Saul, last name Alinsky.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely thought that was all just one name, but it's Saul David Alinsky. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Definitely a shyster.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Definitely.
if their rules work for one side, shouldn't they work for the other just exactly the same way? I'm
Well,
just saying, the rules don't care. Rules like guns don't really care who uses them as long as they use it correctly. Saying.
look, if you know anything about rules for radicals, it's not about being fair, it's about holding power. That's
No, it's about winning.
that is a different distinction, or a distinction without a difference. It's the same thing. I mean, what better way to win than to play by a different set of rules than the opponent?
Now you're playing by the enemy's own rules. Oh, now
By
there's a little
constantly changing
insult.
them.
No.
So
Sticking to the exact original rules. That's the beauty of it. The rules don't care which side you're on. The rules don't care which side you're on.
you
The
see
rules
now
are the same. Oh,
now
that's gotta
this
hurt.
that question opens up a very interesting can of worms. If we were to follow the leftist playbook, what can the right do to flip the narrative and the dynamic of power in our favor?
Apply the exact same rules. I'm not
No,
even
no, no, no,
kidding.
no. Amanda, you're not exactly going far enough with my question. Like,
Oh,
for
okay.
example, when the left decides to change the rules of the election, the rules on voting, and they in essence steal an election, or quote unquote
Ah,
fortify the election, as the Time magazine article so delicately put it. What is it that the right can do to kind of get actually ahead of the left and cut them off? Like,
rule
what
number
is some?
3.
Aw, that's the
And
only option.
do you know what rule number 3 is?
Oh, I thought you said World War III.
Oh no,
My
oh God.
apology.
No. Not quite that far. It might
But it
get there,
will.
but well, it could.
All right.
Whenever possible, go outside the expertise of the enemy.
Well, I mean, th- I'll be honest. That's kind of like beating a dead horse, because they're just gonna. It's okay. Let's put that into practice. Going outside of the expertise of the enemy is the Ben Shapiro line of "facts don't care about your feelings," and the
Amongst
left
other
has
things.
just and the left has simply responded with "my feelings don't care about your facts," and you know there is some truth to that mentality. So I don't think merely going outside of their expertise is something that's going to be overall effective, especially when we're talking about a group of people who largely have consolidated a massive amount of institutional power. So the question is, what can we do from this point to really push our own way in? What rules do we have to change for ourselves and when they tried to hold us to account, just kind of, shoved them off. Any thoughts?
Rule 13.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
let's make up a totally fictional person here.
Okay.
Joe Armotes. Joe Armote is a progressive leftist politician, right?
Okay. Go on.
Oh, make him live up to his own book of rules. One of the things that Rules for Radicals tells us, nobody could ever live up to every one of their own rules. It's not possible. Find the spot where he broke the rules, pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. He over donates to a campaign contribution, let's say. Oh, you are bribing politicians. You're buying political power. And now freeze him. We picked the target, we froze him. Now we're making it personal. You're buying politicians. You're evil, you're corrupt, and everybody who did business with you is evil and corrupt. And I'm actually thinking of a particular person here.
Okay.
Joe Armo is very much a stand-in for a real person.
Okay. See, I don't understand. I don't understand. I cannot see in this current paradigm how that would be a viable tactic when they clearly don't care.
Well,
because when Joe goes to prison or he's facing potential prison time, because there's now a real investigation going on.
Well, here's the problem with that. The rule of Saul Alinsky also follows and is true that the threat of the thing is worse than the actual consequence. What happens when you have people who are so confident in their power that they say, fine, try and throw the book at me, and nothing happens?
Just
Rule 4.
Make sure that stays going. Keep that pressure up.
Rule 4.
So come again, Spicy?
Rule 4, make the enemy live up to its own book of rules.
Yeah. That was sort of what Menagerie was alluding to. But what do you do to an enemy who will readily and brazenly flaunt their own rules for the sake of power?
Oh, no. I'm not talking about us. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us. They keep using Rule 4 against us, so we need to throw our book of rules out the fucking window.
Exactly.
When your enemy's predictable, become unpredictable.
See, Spicy, this is why I like having you on. And that is almost in essence my question is, what is it about? Not only do we need to throw out our current rule book, and yes, Alfredo, we get the Arcana side reference. But what is it? But what is it that the right can do to radically change their rule book enough to throw the left off balance? It is my question in essence. Like, what kind of changes, what kind of paradigm shift would the right have to take on to be unpredictable and competitive against a consolidated, powerful left?
Well, one of those rules, and I'm going to read it verbatim. The price of a successful attack is a constructive alternative. Do you have a constructive alternative? Because me and Spice here are completely lost here.
Okay.
No, I'm still formulating an idea.
Okay. And I think when you get the idea, we might be on the same page, because it's one of those things where you almost don't want to say it out loud.
Oh, that.
Well,
No,
no,
I don't
and
want.
not and not just that, but if you were to take that kind of passion and that kind of force per se, and then apply it culturally, like we have the phenomenon of thought patrolling. Um, well, what if we were to take council culture and thought patrolling to the point that I don't know. Well, what if, and just hear me out, the right actually became the monsters that the left fears? And I'm not just talking Minecraft shit.
So thinking about that and thinking about throwing out our own rule book, we would
Yes.
have to become just as immoral as they, if not
Um,
more so.
are you sure you're ready to go there?
Go where? To the end? Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the option at this point is be thrown in the gulag, or throw them in the gulag. And until the right is ready to become the monster that throws the left into their own gulag, or, the right wing version of a gulag, um, I don't think we stand a chance.
Nope.
Um, you said something you don't want to say, or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Um, are you referring to boog shit?
Boog-esque shit, not full boog, but imagine if, how do I put this? Imagine if the right decided to demonstrate, like the left, in the effective manner that the right is known to do or is capable of doing. And let's say that we reacted to that, to that we reacted in that fashion to pretty much anything we didn't like.
Um,
Not even that we find it unconstitutional, just things we didn't like.
well, I think I started to address that earlier by saying hold them to their own uh, book of rules, and you said, well, that's not going to work because they don't care. So, I mean, before we turn it into violence, a big step in that direction is going to have to be continuously expose and say, and here's all the things you've been doing and ignoring. Um, these are all the rules that you broke yourselves, right? And
Uh-huh.
and wait for them to just say, we don't care. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to
They
keep doing it anyway.
haven't they pretty much already admitted to that fact?
Oh no, well, yes, sort of did.
But by the way, hang on for just a second. Alex, if you're in Telegram, go ahead and check your DMs. If you're in Telegram, if you're the guy who's been messaging me or not, I can't tell. I'm pretty sure it was you. But anyways, back to the so
Yeah, let's compare this to the revolution. All right, now
yeah, yes. Yes, please.
give me what you think, how you think the revolution went.
Here's your fucking tea.
We lost every
Yeah.
single battle, but we didn't stop.
Okay, well, neither statement is correct.
We lost a
The,
lot more fights than we won.
we did that part's true. The revolution was not something that we just woke up one day and said, "Hey, let's throw a revolution. Let's start a new country." It was a 12-year process from the first "wait, what are you doing?" moment to the "okay, fuck you" and Lexington and Concord.
Well, it started right after the French, French and Indian Wars because of the taxation by Britain to pay for that, and that's what caused the slow burn was throughout that whole time frame,
Very
which led
slow and very correct.
which eventually led to Lexington and Concord because the British Army was going to confiscate a cannon at Lexington or Concord. It's one of those two. So when they go for guns, this in the next 4 years, if nobody does anything about it, there's nothing to stop it.
Yeah. Well, here's my. I have in the
Maybe
back
not.
of my mind an objection about this slow 12-year burn that built up over time. We also have to take into account the fact that technology and news was much slower.
That's why it
So
was a slow burn. It's not going to happen that way this go round.
no, it's going to be far more rapid. Um, in fact, I'm a little disappointed that the right hasn't rallied to free some of the. Here's the weird. Here's why it's a slow burn. If you actually look at the people that have been arrested, like in jail arrested, um, these are the people that they claim had like bombs. They claimed that they had firearms. It's none of the people that normal, shall we say, Trumpian right wing supporters would want any association with anyway. Everyone else who's been charged for entering the entering a federal building, um, everyone else is kind of like out on bail or like there's no they've done a very good job at making sure that there's no reason to protest or make someone the symbol of having them liberated from the tyranny of government in a physical sense. And that's kind of that it's kind of hard to latch on to a movement or to a cause or to accelerate or latch on to something when there isn't an actual tangible target. It's all of these loosely associated people who are by and large walking in the free air at this time. They just have to deal with the federal court system in a couple months, when their charges are brought forth.
Yellow.
And Alex is on the stream.
What's up, chaps?
How's it going, man?
Hello, Alex.
I'm all right. Just having a few brewskis, chilling.
Yeah, Alex has been bugging me to get him on the stream, so I said, why not? We'll have him on.
It was a polite request.
It was what?
It was a polite request. It wasn't bugging. Hold on. Let me get my headphones. I'm going to be all echoey.
So I just got curious. I started looking at a list of battles won and lost by during the Revolution, and I found one where it says French victory.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah,
well,
that was Unexpected.
French were supposedly our allies, so that would have happened.
Capture of St. Vincent. Let's see here. West Indies.
Wait.
Oh.
This is a revolutionary battle for the for the American people in the West Indies.
Yeah, no. God damn, Karn, you kind of misunderstand the nature of the American Revolution. Think of it as World War Zero, and the American Revolution is just the Battle of the Philippine Islands versus the entire Pacific War.
So what you're telling me is that Britain, France, and Spain treated the United States like the Middle East?
No, not even that high.
Okay.
So looking at it, it was a British-held island, and then the French came in and went, suck a dick. Let's suck a dick, and kicked them out.
Yeah. I'm really surprised that there was only one French victory now that strictly French victory now that you mentioned this.
There's a second one at Grenada.
Wow.
Grenada was Spanish.
Yeah, and there I found a third one, but it's called Action of 6 October 1779. It doesn't actually have a name. So I wonder if this was a naval battle.
Yeah, there's probably a couple guys throwing rocks at each other.
Looks like it was between the French frigate Sir Volante and the British frigate Quebec.
Damn.
Why would a British frigate be named Quebec? That's weird.
Because Britain and France were back to fighting pretty seriously at this point over everything and anything.
And then it gets even weirder. There's a Franco-Spanish victory.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? So yeah, the American Revolution is World War Zero.
It was. It very much was.
And we still fucking won it.
Whoa, battle. Hang on, it gets better. Battle of Mobile, West Florida. Patriot Spanish victory. Another one, Siege of Pensacola, Patriot and Spanish victory.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Damn.
Spain and France were allies against Britain, and we were this third world monkey atoll that they could exploit. And that's all they were doing. They were just using us as an excuse to fight in a staging area. I compared us to the Philippines of World War II, and that's not even fair. We were Guam to them.
Yeah.
No, that's not even fair. We were more like Tinian or Saipan. Literally nothing. But it was a place to fight over. Okay, well, yeah, we'll exploit this for all it's worth.
Okay, this is interesting. Apparently, we had a battle in India.
Oh my gosh.
We had or France had?
We had.
America.
Because it's counting as a battle for the American Revolution.
Now that's interesting because that's just weird because we didn't start attacking the Barbary pirates until Madison's presidency.
It just makes no sense because it's Great Britain and the East India Trade Company against France. It has nothing to do with Americans. Okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna have to look into this.
Hang on, Spicy. Are you getting this off Wikipedia?
No.
Okay.
Well, what's the source?
It's one that a friend of mine did back when he was back in college going for a history degree. But maybe this is not accurate, seeing as how he never finished.
Yeah, Americans in India does not make anything resembling sense. But
Well,
then again,
there's
a lot of the shit going on that then didn't.
there's
So-
American Indians though.
Well,
No,
Well,
not
yes.
quite the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
But how are we
Yeah.
supposed to take back the reins of power when the reins of power are that have been arrayed against us for the last since the 60s, 50s, 60s?
Well, and that's the question is, we want to be conservatives and we want to relive the American Revolution at the same time. And
Well,
you
pick a
really
story.
can't. And yeah, and the thing is you really can't. And you have to wonder in the American spirit of what is essentially opportunistic guerrilla warfare, what does that look like for us on the right as conservatives to engage in? Because that's essentially what we're talking about. We're talking about political guerrilla warfare, and it's difficult to get conservatives in this frame of mind. It's difficult to get them to not only accept this role, but to actually strategize therein.
They start after the Capitol. They mainstream MAGA guys just started like flooding in the Telegram. Like, so I see like the dissolution. Like, what we really need to do is like figure out how to like you said, get them into the correct mindset. They are being red pilled though. We are getting them.
Well, yeah.
Before you do that, you need to lay down a pretty solid justification, because you do not want in 100 years for people to look back and say, "Wait a second, you engaged in open rebellion against a free and fair presidency," and blah blah blah. Think about this. People look back at the French Revolution, and what do they say?
Well, they say that it was shit because it was shit.
Uh-huh.
The real question is, do you actually think Americans would put themselves in that situation? I have a problem.
That's
And
what
this
you're
is,
advocating now by pushing this timeline forward
well, I
much
mean,
faster than it needs to be.
well, yes, I am, because I have faith in my countrymen. I have faith in my fellow conservatives. I do have faith in the cause that I'm fighting for. And if you look back at the French Revolution, most of them literally had no confidence in what they were doing, except that they felt that it needed to be done. The American Revolution, by contrast, the Americans knew what they wanted to fight for. The French were literally trying to fight for something that they had never had and had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, and their justification for war was actually shit.
So
Yeah,
That's the thing that you need.
I just ran into the most craziest thing I've ever looked at on Facebook, but it's not crazy against us. It's crazy against Democrats. It starts in 1865 and goes to 2013, and it's a list of Democrats that have shot people, and it's the solution to gun control by a Simon Lynch.
Oh yeah.
This shit's legit. 1865, a Democrat shot and killed Lincoln. 1881, left-wing radical Democrat shot James Garfield, president of the United States, who later died from his wound. Also, an attempt at X-ray was made in trying to extract the bullet. A radical left-wing, 1963, a radical left-wing socialist shot and killed JFK. 1975, a left-wing radical Democrat shot at Gerald Ford. 1983, a registered Democrat shot and wounded Ronald Reagan. 1984, James Hubert, a disgruntled Democrat, shot and killed 22 people in a McDonald's restaurant. 86, Patrick Sherrill, a disgruntled Democrat, shot and killed 15 people in an Oklahoma post office. 1990, James Poe, a disgruntled Democrat, shot and killed 10 people at a GMAC, whatever the fuck thing that is, office. 1991, George Hennard, a disgruntled Democrat, shot and killed 23 people in a Lubby's cafeteria in Killeen, Texas. 1995, James Daniel Simons, a disgruntled Democrat, shot and killed 5 co-workers in a Texas laboratory. Holy shit, fuck tons upon fuck tons of... Oh my shit, I didn't even know this one. 2001, left-wing radical Democrat fired shots at the White House in a failed attempt to kill Bush. That's a new one.
Stockton on that list?
Who?
Stockton.
He sounds familiar. What year is that?
It's a city. It's a city.
Stockton,
California.
Okay.
What year?
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
What happened there?
A man shot up a schoolyard. Killed, I think, 6 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was by a Democrat?
Yep.
Holy shit.
How far does that list go? What year?
It goes all the way to 2013, but
just a little too short.
But it's a little down at the bottom. It says not one NRA member, Tea Party member, or Republican conservatives was involved in any of these shootings and murders. Now that I don't entirely agree with. I'm pretty sure there was a Republican or two that went, no, fuck these people, and took them out. But at the same time, you don't hear of it very often. And it says at the bottom, it shouldn't be illegal for Democrats to own guns. We don't need gun control. We need Democrat control. But I'm going to mute for a bit because there's a lot of noise on my end.
Okay.
All right. So, Democrat control is what we need in this country.
Yeah. Karn, the first thing you're going to have to do, if you want to go boog, okay. But the first thing you got to do is establish a casus belli, or halfway through this thing, everybody's going to turn on you. On not liking the results of the election is not going to establish a casus belli.
No, hang on.
No. We know what happened on the 6th. Right?
Okay.
That's not a big secret. But you got to prove it first.
You know, mandatory. I'll be honest. The things that I'm talking about now are pretty much going to be reactions towards everything that's happened since the 6th. I think that's. Don't get me wrong. It was important. It shouldn't have happened. It will not be remembered well in the history books. But the catalyst for this is going to be for things and events that have happened since then. To be perfectly honest,
Okay.
I don't really, I wouldn't really plan on initiating any of these strategies because, you know, in memorial of election fraud. I think there's going to be far many other catalysts to choose from. It's going to be like an open buffet for conservatives to, you know, be outraged and indignant over. The problem is getting them to the damn table and picking up a plate.
Well, they're already picking up plates, so I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Way too many of them think they have too much to lose because they're boomers and they bought houses when they were like 10 cents a piece, and they went to college for like cents on the dollar that kids go to now, and they built their own little empires where they own a couple McMansions and a speedboat, and that's a lot to risk. And a lot of them aren't even really conservatives; they just care about my taxes. Like they don't really have values. These aren't religious people. So like actual conservatives, yeah, maybe they have to just suffer more and before they wake up and do something about it.
Well, and I've already told Mandatory that I'm pretty certain that we're heading towards a future where not only will Biden be assassinated, but that's going to be compounded by a Greater Depression. And so you're probably right, and I sincerely see in the future such a catalyst happening where these people actually have to wake up and realize, oh, I'm going to lose everything anyway. So why? So I have nothing else left to lose. Let's do it. That's where I see it
thing
going.
is going to be right. The first thing you need to watch for is that first riot. That's when you know it's okay. Now we're serious, and this is going to start.
Wait, the Capitol. That was the first riot.
What?
The Capitol. That was it.
Right, but the rights all saying no. We were actually there peacefully, and
No, you weren't. I was there. We were like fighting cops and shit.
really,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
keep talking.
God, I got tear gassed. God, I made it to the like on the building. There's like this outdoor auditorium. It looks kind of like a little like stadium. I made it up there, and I got maced and tear gassed, and I looked out like towards the Washington Monument, and it was just people like all the way there, as far as you could see. It was unbelievable. It was like the most people I've ever seen in my life, and yeah, I made it like really close. Like Proud Boys were getting shot with rubber bullets all around me and shit, and there was flashbangs and yeah.
Whoa, stop. You said flashbangs. Tell me about the flashbangs.
There were grenades that flashed and exploded.
Was it the cops or who was
it was
using
the cops.
It definitely. There's no question or doubt.
Yeah, they were. I saw them shooting them. Yeah.
Okay.
And you would not believe the amount of tear gas they dropped on us. Like it took me a solid like 3 minutes to like get out of the cloud, and I hit the ground, and then this old boomer lady like dumped water in my eyes and shit.
Damn.
Yeah. They just kept shooting them and shooting them. And it's all you could hear.
Yeah.
It was the.
Well, now, also to kind of back your point, I've actually watched Don the Pleb stream about what happened at the Capitol from his POV, and yeah, it was the right breaking through the ranks of cops and pushing and shoving over barriers, getting bear mace, getting pepper sprayed, getting and he's laughing at it because I got bear mace, but wind factor is a thing, and they bear mace themselves several times, and he's laughing about it. But the way that he talks about it is also once they got to the top near the Capitol building itself, and they met the actual guards with guns. There was that's when the conservatives actually stopped and went home, and then Antifa came in and said, "Oh yeah, we made it to the top." And then they started to single file let everyone into the Capitol building. So it was a mixture of both. There was actually the right wing pushing back, going, "No, we're going to respond to this to this unfavorable result, to this absolute utter bullshit. But they stopped just before breaching the actual Capitol building themselves. And it wasn't until they were actually let in by police Capitol officers to I guess get charged and entrapped by the government. Yeah, exactly. They never broke the rules. They were let in. They wanted them inside. And you know, there was most of the headway to the Capitol building was done by conservatives, but the actual entry into it was the actual breaking of windows. That was done by Antifa, and we have them on film doing it. The images of the window breaking was done by a Black Lives Matter activist who shouldn't have been in DC in the first place. And also we have, you know, the image of the cops, you know, throwing the barrier aside and letting everyone into the Capitol building. So
Yeah, that was in the back. They didn't just let us in. I saw a bunch of people getting pushed out.
Really?
Which is weird. It was at the front to the left, that entrance. As soon as I got over there, like 20 Proud Boys just like the door just like flew open and like 20 Proud Boys like kicking and screaming were all like shoved out. And then they kept trying to get back in. And they unloaded rubber bullets into them.
I got a question for you. You're sure it was pepper or bear spray?
I don't know if it's bear spray. I just know like a cop sprayed something in my eyes and it hurt really bad.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Bear spray use on a human being intentionally is a felony. So
well, the DC police did it. And they did it with grand liberal application.
Well, they sprayed something, but not quite that.
I don't know. I just heard a lot.
Heard a lot. Well, yeah, that would be anything up to 15%.
It's not actually legal to use 15%. It's 5 to 10% OC spray, and that's it. Now, where it really starts to change is if they used a stream or a fog. If it was oil-based, water-based, or a foam-based. Foam and oil-based OC sprays are the worst. Tear gas is CS spray, which is not the same as OC spray, but both suck just as bad, except CS gas is you have a tendency to panic when you inhale CS gas. It makes your lungs feel like they're seizing up and you can't breathe. But as long as you keep chanting to yourself in your head that you can breathe, you'll start breathing. Your lungs will start working. There's really nothing that will stop that pain other than getting as much, for CS gas, getting as much air around you as possible to get the dust away. For OC spray, pepper spray, it depends on what it is. Water-based, you can get it off with water, easy. With oil-based, you got to use dish soap. The best dish soap's Dawn, but it's going to burn like a son of a bitch. Or you can just stand up front of a fan, and it'll feel amazing until you go to take a shower and lean your head back, and this shit runs down to your butt crack, and it feels like Satan's trying to get you from the rear, and it's agonizing.
Spice, I carried 15% pepper spray when I was in the Guard. It was the only thing we could get.
The whole point of this conversation was to assure mandatory that no, the right was not entirely peaceful when at the Capitol Hill.
It was awesome.
Stand corrected on that.
So
it was the funnest and most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Bear spray and all.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Beautiful. And it was fun.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, trying to take over the government's fun as hell. Are you kidding? That's why I do it.
Boy, I hope you guys know the can you're going to open. There will come a point where the can has to be opened, but you don't want to see what's going to come out when it does.
Well,
Spice, you were overseas, right?
Yes, I was. Actually, on that note, fixing to get my wife in on this.
yeah.
Spice wife.
Carnal approves. Carnal approves.
And I'm trying to get her set up because she's never used StreamYard before.
Yeah, just get her set up. I would be glad to have her on. So yes. And how do I? What was it? Was it really all that bad what the right did at the Capitol building? To be honest, shouldn't that kind of steam and enthusiasm be something that we seize upon and I don't know, like feel some sense of pride that we accomplished this.
Midnight Mage.
I'm not seeing all that much that was done that was that bad until somebody got shot.
Yeah, I heard
And
that.
I'm seeing that I've seen like 5 different videos, 5 different positions. I'm not sure that she was actually doing anything. I'm not convinced she was doing anything that I wouldn't have done in the exact same position, assuming that I was in the same position.
Well, and here's the thing, mandatory is if we actually seized on that moment as something worthy of celebration, the next time I don't think people would have been shot because those included in the action as conservatives, they would have been armed themselves, and that really is the next step. And it seems that we have a newcomer. Midnight Mage, well, welcome to the stream.
$5 says.
Just say hi.
Hello, Mrs. Spice.
Hello.
Oh, I lost the bet.
Uh-huh. So.
Oh, what was the bet?
Well, we're all expecting Spicy's wife to come in here, so because I was in a different tab, I didn't see the name until it was too late.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the madness that you're hearing tonight?
It's madness for sure. Definitely not a world I want to bring my kids up in.
No, that is certainly not the ideal. I would have to agree with you there. That this is not a world you want to bring your kids up into. The real concern that I'm having at this point is, do I deal with it now or do I deal with it later? Do I deal with it when they're small or do I deal with it when they're grown?
Well, for us, we just deal with it as they go along. Our kids are very curious, so they ask a lot of questions about the world at large now. And one's 9 and one's 14, so we're able to kind of guide them on what's lies and what's not. So I would do it as you go.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. These are what they call interesting times, and when they say interesting times, it's meant to be a form of a curse to say that you live in interesting times, because it means that things are going to be uncomfortable, unstable, and, well, overall interesting.
I'm interested.
Yes, we all are.
Well, I'm a little more pragmatic about this. I'm seeing what's going to come, and I'm foreseeing how it's going to go, and I'm not liking that. It'll make Iraq look like
A cakewalk.
well, it'll make Iraq look like a really bad block party, a block party that went wrong.
Well, it's either that or the enslavement of all of humanity for the rest of our existence.
It's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, imagine Dresden all over the place.
Mm.
Are
Give me a
you
second,
guys
guys.
comfortable with that level of devastation?
The
Now,
Dresden firebombing.
Oh,
Ah,
Really? You guys didn't know what I was referring to?
I
I did. I knew about Dresden.
I've heard of Dresden, but I had no idea what it implied, to be honest.
yeah, I'm with him.
Okay, so
I-
50-50.
I don't know what kind of damage and terror the Dresden event has in store as an event. So
It's second only to
300,000 dead.
Hiroshima.
one at a time.
Do you want a historical background of the Dresden firebombing?
Oh, they
Yes.
do. All right.
Yes.
So the Dresden firebombing was. Babe, mute your mic. I'm gonna. Actually, yeah, that did work because my voice sounds retarded as hell. So the Dresden firebombing, the way it worked was it was a night bombing. American bombers came over and they dropped a whole bunch of incendiary ordnance. And what it did was it created its own weather event to where the fire coalesced into flaming tornadoes. I forgot what the hell movie it was called that had a flaming tornado in it from a gas station blowing up. Storm Chasers, that was the movie. And it tore ass through the town. It blew out windows, melted glass. They couldn't even find all the bodies of the people that had hidden in the bomb shelters because the heat from the fire was so intense that it burned away all skin, muscle, and bone to ash and nothing. There's actually a monument in Dresden Cemetery in Germany to the Dresden firebombing. They don't know how many people died. They can give a rough guess, but it was really bad. I remember my great-grandmother telling me about how she heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a Dresden-like event, and how do I put this? I don't see that kind of devastation being prevented. The only question is which side is going to take the brunt of it, to be honest.
I know this is my pie in the sky thinking, but if we just keep badgering on what really happened and keep pressure on about what really happened, because we all know. Come on, don't I don't want to get your channel yeeted by talking about it, but we all know what really happened. Sooner or later, they're gonna break, or they're gonna lash out violently.
Media, they will never break.
Or they will lash out violently, and that's what, more so than anything else, you need to be able to say, and we didn't start the violence. We didn't pull that first trigger. That's Spice. Am I lying here?
No, you're not lying, but at the same time, how are we supposed to break through the echo chamber that seems is what's causing the country to lose its shit? As it stands right now, they're able to tell everybody whatever the fuck they want by use of the media. They control the media, and as long as we don't have any control over it, what the fuck are we going to do? Fox News is not Fox News as it used to be. There is no right-wing news source. The most listened to that I know of here in Kansas, talking to people, unfortunately, is AJ of trying not to say it, India Whiskey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the info
bald
dude.
headed conspiracy freak.
The one that's worried about the frogs turning gay.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking frogs gay.
And unfortunately, with him, what gets him the viewers is that he's a showman, and unfortunately, in order to get the truth out, he's got to blow it out of proportion. And I listened to him for a good 2 or 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, it fucked me up real bad.
Oh Lord.
It took my wife letting me know how badly it messed me up in order for me to realize, okay, I need to stop listening to this. And ended up going to the VA, got put on meds for a little bit, and now, yeah, he went overboard on a lot of things, but the crap he said is starting to pan out, and I don't like it. And now, with the media, we have no way to get the message out there. Nobody listens to Fox News other than old fogies, and everybody knows Fox News full of shit.
And that's really another quagmire. Is how do you have a countercultural movement with no voice? Literally, if there was a equal, forceful counterculture movement, they can just say no, and there's almost no recourse there. So, and it's extremely depressing. It's disheartening, and it's equally polarizing. I mean, how do you pull people into a reasonable discussion with the idea that if you have something of competitive worth, that it won't be given the light of day? And that's kind of another catalyst that kind of puts me in the doomsday set mode. Is it's not just that you have all of these powers that be, and it's not just that we have all of these political and power games. We literally have a state where other points of view cannot be heard with any effective range or megaphone.
That's not necessarily true. We're in an age where we can start businesses. There's nothing to say that several people who feel that they don't have a voice to start a new media outlet. And then there's also protesting. I know it sounds silly and it's very dangerous, but the more people that believe that this stuff is happening got out there and were screaming at the top of their lungs, papering the streets with the information, it would get through to a lot of people.
I actually like that. No, I actually like that a lot. It's if you can't rely on the current institution, you have to go old school.
Yeah,
that's actually really smart. I'll be honest, I personally don't have that kind of time.
None of us do, but I guess that really...
Because wait. My cat is in my ceiling.
What?
My cat is in my ceiling. I have to find a screwdriver.
How the fuck?
I have no idea. Yeah. I'm here, Jogger. I'm here. It's okay, man.
Poor guy.
And he's on mute. Okay.
How does that
my
happen? How do you
grandpa.
even do that?
Wait, what?
Never mind. Just carry on. Carry on.
Sorry. Um, my grandpa went to Vietnam, and when he got back, he would tell me about the stories about how they didn't like what the soldiers were doing, and the government at the time didn't care, and so these groups just lit up the United States. And
Mm.
as parents, as people who have jobs, none of us really have the time to do this. But if you got a group together like we are now, and we did it, took 5 minutes to print off some papers, because there's nothing against the law, at least here in Kansas, about open protesting or throwing the papers out in the wind and letting people see them. There's nothing against that. Um, so that could take 5 minutes as you're driving by to work. So I guess if you really feel passionate, or I can't say that because a lot of people feel passionate about it, they just don't think that they have the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in our household, he would go to work, and I'm an at-home mom, so that's something that I could do on the behalf of our beliefs of our family. Just essentially somehow make the time if it's something that you really wanted to do. Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely does make sense. Just it's easy for me to get black-pilled, and it's very and when you how do I put this? And I'm just going to say it that the way that it is. In an age where social media and likes and clicks and influence can be measured almost instantaneously, it's easy for people to forget those old school tactics and find any satisfaction in them.
I gotta
Yeah.
step
And
away for a minute. I got a slight emergency on my own front.
take care. And I think go on.
My husband's the same way. And
Yeah.
before the stuff with last year, I was in the mind frame of it's not happening directly to us. It's not affecting our everyday life right now. So it's not my concern. I have children I have to take care of. And we need to be able to take care of, our everyday lives. And then last year and this year happened, and it changed everything for our household.
Yeah.
So, but he is definitely like you with getting the lost in the doom and gloom, and it's me pulling him back, going, you need to focus on this while we need to prepare for this.
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, Mrs. Carnal does the same thing for me. She
That's
honestly does.
awesome.
No, and it's embarrassing when your wife has to pull you aside and go, that doesn't affect us. Stop talking about it, please. I'm done hearing about this crap.
Yeah.
And it's true that there are things that I need to be more focused on. For those of you listening, like I'm going to school to learn how to code. And honestly, I think that the best thing that I can do as soon as I get this degree is to invest in building server farms for anyone willing to buy space on them. I would love to be the server farm host for places like Gab, places like Parlor, or any future competitor like unto them. And I would like the power to look at YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and say, "Oh, you want some of my servers? Go fuck yourself." That would be a nice position to be in. But that's in the future. We do have some comments in the some comments here. Alfredo says the crowdfund to pay for somebody to do it for you, and that's actually a legit strategy. Alfredo, if I don't know if you're in the Discord or not, but if you aren't, go into the description and join. so we can actually talk about the things that you would be willing to crowdfund that you could actually pay me to do. Because if I'm getting money for it, Mrs. Carnal will be far more amenable to the activity. I assure you. So, so there is that. And as to you can host sites on your home computer, yes and no. Every single website, every single piece of data that you see on the internet has to be stored on a hard drive somewhere, so that the website and the images can be pulled from that hard source to your computer. Your computer isn't actually creating the website, it's just pulling from somewhere else that has the information. So you can use a middleman, is essentially what you're telling me, but no, every interplanetary file system, yeah,
That sounds like some alien spaceship shit.
well, it's not alien spaceship shit. What it is it's another link in the chain. Yeah, it's blockchain.
Oh, okay, that
And-
makes more sense.
And look, blockchain is great for security, but it doesn't change the fact that every piece of information that exists that you pull up from your laptop, your desktop, or even your phone, every single bit, every single piece of data has to come from a physical source, from a server that is giving that information through the internet to your device. There's no the sci-fi idea that there is a quote unquote cloud where there's this infinite ability to store data, that doesn't actually exist. It's just another computer with the data on it.
And not just that, it gets even worse. So let's say Karn here does start his own server farm. Well, he's just holding on to the data. He needs to push that information out. How's he going to do that? He's still going to have to go to Google. If he wants to put an app out for his phone, still going to have to go to the Google Play Store.
No. That's see, if I was making an app, you would be right. But if I'm just providing the server farm, Google would have to come to me to host any other website that they want to do business with to store their data on. Does that make sense?
And what would be orgasmic is if they started pulling some funny shit and you were able to, I don't know, cancel them like they canceled Parler and so on and so forth.
Yep, exactly. That is the end game of my plan.
I got my cat out of my ceiling.
Good. I literally could not care less about your damn dude. Get a dog. That is my advice.
Whoa. The cat is a vastly superior animal.
That's a load of shit.
That is a lot of shit.
No. Dogs are like commoner pets, Cats are like aristocratic.
Good God, don't tell our dog that.
Now, Midnight Mage, I am the proud owner of a pit bull.
Me too.
So anyone who owns a pit bull also knows that pit bulls were once owned by British nobility, and they've never forgotten it. They've never forgotten it. So good luck getting the dog off the bed if you let them on.
Oh yeah, that is. Oh my God, that is so true.
And they don't get stuck in ceilings. So.
Right.
No, they don't.
No, they just squish you.
Oh yeah. No. I was listening to a Joe Rogan.
That's true for
clip.
any dog.
I was listening to a Joe Rogan clip where he was talking about how like crazy animal stories with like coyotes and whatnot. And the story he shared was his friend brought his pit bull into the vet and the dog had like all of these cuts all over its body, and they couldn't and the owner couldn't explain, like, hey, why is your dog cut up? And the guy's like, I really don't know. So when the guy got home after taking his dog to the vet with like 100 stitches, the owner followed the trail of blood from his dog up to where he just followed the trail to wherever the dog had gone. And it was a bloodbath of 9 slaughtered coyotes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That. Sorry, go ahead.
and I'm not going to lie, but one of the reasons that we have a pit bull is because Mrs. Carnal heard about coyotes getting a bit uppity in our neck of the woods. So I told her, look, I've loved and raised that breed for the first 17 years of my life. And if we get another one, he's going to do his job. And we will not have to worry about coyotes in our yard or coyotes pulling our kid, our toddler, out through the fence.
Or
That's
cats
not going to
in your
happen.
ceiling.
Yeah, and we won't have cats in our ceiling.
Right.
I have no idea. I have no idea how he got in there.
See, and I love their personalities. I love pit bulls' personalities. They're different for every person. Our dog has a personality for every one of us in the house, and I thought it was really I had a pit bull when my son was 2, and this dog was huge, and he thought that he was the baby just like my son was at the time. So they would share food. He would take some of his kibble and put it on my son's plate. My son would put some of his food on his plate. We would go to the park every night, and he would put his paws through the front of the swing and kick his legs off in the back to make him swing next to my son. And then we would come home, and they would both get into the bathtub, and like he was convinced that he was just like my son. And it was just amazing to see that kind of interaction, because I've had pit bulls my whole life. I've raised them, and he just blew the whole breed out of the water for me. And our dog now is like that. We made our dog our service dog, my daughter's service dog, and she has epilepsy. He's had no training. He decided he was going to do everything on his own, and he was a rescue to boot. So it just watching their minds work and is just truly amazing. I will never be ungrateful for any of my pit bulls.
Yeah, they grow up to be what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And we raised our dog to essentially be a nanny and a cuddle pup.
Yep.
He is well over 80 pounds and still convinced that he is a lap dog.
Yeah, ours is weighing in at 125, and he's not fat at all.
Oh,
he's got muscle for days.
Yes.
And he's white and brindle. So he's got the big old head and the floppy ears, and he didn't have a crop tail, so he's got the long tail that feels like he's whipping you to death with it.
Oh my gosh, that tail is the worst.
Yeah.
It's worse than the head. People think that the teeth is what you have to watch out for. No, you're watching out for that damn tail.
Oh, for him, it's his head. He'll knock us out just by looking up at us. But see, he's been lovey the whole time. We can't have people come into the house, and some days he's okay with them, some days he's not. It's just whatever mood he's in. But we have a neighbor that's been messing with us really bad, and so now he's gotten into barking every time. And with him being so big, it sounds like he's trying to bring down the whole apartment complex.
Oh, damn.
And he talks. And he talks with all of his teeth.
My gosh.
Yeah. So it's really awesome.
Well, this took a remarkably wholesome turn.
Sorry.
I was not expecting that.
Sorry.
So, Alex, get a dog.
No,
Yes.
no. I like my cat.
No, you need a dog. You very clearly.
You need anything that does not interrupt my stream with, holy shit, my cat's in the ceiling.
Well, like, sorry.
And
So,
Sorry, guys.
how about Mr. Potato Head? Huh? They're gonna.
no,
Oh
no,
my
no. There is
fucking
no
God.
Mr. Potato Head anymore.
No.
It's Z.
Oh, you don't even know.
Oh, I do.
Z Potato
Oh, no,
Entity. Z Potato Individual. I like that.
So my wife actually doesn't know what's going on with Mr. Potato Head. So give me a minute here. I thought it was a toy. Hang on. She just said she thought it was a toy. Babe, I'm going to tell you guys what her facial reaction is to this, okay?
Okay.
They
All
have
right.
made Mr. Potato Head transgender.
What the fuck?
She just said what the fuck is that blank face on. I would have thought for something where you could place whatever the fuck, anywhere the fuck you want, it would go on without saying Mr. Potato Head's whatever you want him to be, other than a suppository.
Well, you know, it's even weirder because there's also a Mrs. Potato Head. It's not like we didn't have a female companion. It's not like the Potato Head line had a lack of representation.
Wait,
There
this is-
was.
Oh no, and she just gets to stay Mrs. Potato Head, you know. But the Mr. Potato Head, that's a problem. You know, we got to get rid of that.
They can,
That's the
they can
problem.
literally take the male potato head and stick it in the female potato head box and vice versa, and problem solved. But no.
Oh my gosh. So yes, they have decided that Mr. Potato Head needs to be gender neutral or gender neutral or trans because reasons, just literally just because of reasons.
For fairness and equality's sake, because God knows the world is fair and equal all over.
And
This
and
level
this
of
is
faggotry is not possible in the real world.
I know that. Babe, I'm sorry, this is sarcasm. She's flabbergasted. She doesn't know how to take this. She's like rubbing her face, going, "What the fuck is this?"
welcome to the internet.
Oh my god.
This is the good internet too.
Oh, I know. This is the internet with copious amounts of lube. This is lubed
that-
internet. This is lubed internet.
Hey, there's somebody backstage.
Who's backstage? Oh,
Runner says he's backstage.
all right.
Oh, I want to hear about his date.
Oh
Run
yeah,
out of
There he is.
Let's do a quick follow up. Runner,
Here.
how
You wanna
is?
get back in on this?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm going to shut up now.
Okay.
We're
So
organizing stuff is happening next month.
nothing is happening
Yes.
next month.
Stuff is
Wait, what?
happening. Stuff.
Stuff is happening next month.
Yeah.
We need to ask the questions.
Yes, we do.
Well, put me back on. And I'll...
Not you, babe.
Okay, so things are happening next month. Can you give any details, or is it all confidential for right now?
Confidential right now.
Oh, okay. She a nice lady.
Is she a virtuous woman?
I don't know.
Hope not.
Literally have one interaction with her and just sexing her for the entire time.
Oh, fair enough.
You're on mute. Just wait.
I
Sorry. I'll shut up again.
No, you're fine. We're just trying to ascertain the level of excitement and enthusiasm we should have for these things happening in Runner's romantic life. And she is back. How's it going, Midnight?
Good. Sorry, I have pressed the wrong button.
Oh, dude, that happens all the time. So
Yeah,
just to
we're all
catch you up.
boomers.
So
Oh,
just
Don't
to
worry.
catch you up.
At least you don't have two cats fighting in your
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that too.
Right.
Oh, someone should make a compilation video of half shit what happens on here. It would be funny.
Yeah. So, just to catch everyone up, we did a stream about it's okay to raise your kids to be normal. And at the end of that stream, we determined that it was necessary for Runner to breed for the West. So we have very politely and lightly bullied him into asking a girl on a date.
I
So
only
we
threatened to kill him once.
That's progress.
So
Fucking Menagerie said the fucking worst shit on that stream.
What'd I say?
yeah, you were trying to get this girl's personal information in hopes of like I don't even know what the plan was. I don't even know how you
You don't
thought that.
want to know what my plan would have been. Fortunately, I forgot about that.
Exactly. And so when we asked Mandatory, how is this going to help? And he just replies with mental illness, which is
That's me. Whatever
Which-
they are about to say, it's true. It must be.
so. So in light of this turn of events, we are in fact every time we get a chance, we are going to interrogate Runner as to the comings and goings of his love life, because he's a good guy. He needs a good gal, and we need more children in the West, particularly in Down Under.
Oh.
So, is there anything else that the panel would like to bring up for discussion before we close?
Mm.
I got something for you, Karn.
All right.
After stream.
All right, fair enough. So we got Mandatory on hold. Anyone else?
No, but thank you for letting
No,
me join.
nothing really.
Anytime. So with that, we're going to say good night. Stay carnal and God bless. Say bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Later.